Folks, welcome to this episode of Chasing the Dream of Bridge Creek. We're coming to you all the way from Quebec. Is that how you say it? Quebec?
Quebec.
Close enough.
Yeah, Narni.
Ruan NORAD.
He's been up here way too long. He's talking like a native. Folks, we got a special episode this week. We're winding up this week's bear camp. We got two fellas that's just goes to prove you don't got to be blood to be related to. My brothers here, we got Pete Martin on my left, and my far left we got old Dave. They call me Ricky Finley. I know we met each other. What, guys? I think you all came the first year we hunted together. Y'all both came in 2013, didn't you? Down to
someone in there.
Down there. And they must like abuse because they've been hanging around ever since, and we've been hanging around with them and running and gunning and having different adventures together. And so we thought today'd be a good day just to maybe share a couple little things there. And we got a couple stories to tell. Not on me, thank goodness. We got somebody else in camp. It's a bigger screw up as me. So we.
That would be me.
That would be me. But Pete, I got to ask you a question. I've always wanted to know. What made you come and hunt with us the first time?
Well, I guess because I was looking for some adventure, and there was something else to do. I whitetail hunt, did everything else, so I wanted to start hog hunting. So I just, for some reason, Bridge Creek came up and called in, liked the way people were talked, so took the chance and came down and been here ever since.
I'm telling you, boy, it's been a blessing, ain't it?
Yeah.
What do you remember when in 2000? Piper was just a baby, wasn't she?
Yes, she was.
So
baby.
Now she just turned
12.
She just turned 12. So my golly, that's
Going on 12.
12 years. 12 years for sure. So it's been we made a friendship that's lasted unbreakable, ain't we, brother?
Good. Yes.
I'm telling you, and we've laughed and giggled and cried and been through tragedies together and watched the Lord work miracles. And it's been a blessing to have these two fellas in our life. And old Pete, he got him a bear this week, and I got me one, and he got him one, and
I missed me one.
I got me one, and
actually, I didn't completely miss.
Well, Dave probably could have shot one if he could have found his way in the blind.
Said he wasn't going to tell that, didn't he, Dave?
He said he wasn't going to tell that.
No,
That's just the way he is, man. You can't believe him.
Hey, man, if it's fit for film, it's fit to talk about.
I haven't even seen a live bear this week.
I got to tell you, folks.
It's overrated if you don't kill him.
I drop him off at the blind. I'm sorry, Ricky. Dave, I got to tell this. I don't know your name, man. You got so many aliases. So I drop him off, and I said, I want to put you in this blind tonight. I said, it's raining, and I got my jogging pants on. I said, you walk back to your building. I'm going to go turn around. I'll come back, and I'll sit here for a few minutes, and if I don't hear nothing from you, I'll go on. So I go turn around. I come back. I'm sitting there, and I said, well, I guess everything's okay. I guess I'll leave. And by the time I put my hand on the gear shaft, I just happened to look to my left, and here come a big orange Santa Claus through the woods. And I said, well, that's Dave Finley. What's he doing? Come out, and he had his orange on, had his gun on, had his little seat cushion. I said, well, you got everything with you. He come up to the door. He said, I believe they've screwed my door together. On my blind. I said, what?
In Dave's defense, all the blinds have a door in a different place.
Yeah.
He's been going in the back. This one you go in on the side.
Well, we always knew Dave was a backdoor guy. Anyways. So I said, well, crap, I'm going to get wet anyway. So I got out. And he said, man, maybe I'm just weaker enough. I said, that's all right. You just want me to bless you blind to give you good luck. We walked back there, and we walk up. I'd never been to the blind either. I knew it was, but I'd never been over in it. And I walked up and walked around to the side, and there was the latch. And I stopped, and Dave just walked right on by me. You know, I said, "Hey, Ricky." He said, "What?" I said, "Beep." On the door. He said, "Oh."
I should have went back to the Jeep and come back here, packed all my stuff up, and just went home.
Now, what do you always say, man? You can't buy this kind of entertainment.
You can't buy entertainment like
I'm gonna
this.
tell you what, you just we got over that, but that still don't top what I'm fixing to ask you. Now, I want you to tell everybody, you and Bobby can handle this from this point. I want you to tell us how we give you the nickname Ricky Finley.
Well, last year, me, Bobby, and Max and Sarah left a day early. So we all just were in a caravan. And we got up to the border crossing there in Detroit. And Bobby was in the lead. He got right on through the gate. Max and Sarah was next. They got on through the gate. And then it come to be my turn. I gave him my passport and everything. And the border guard said, "Did you know there's a warrant out for your arrest?" I said, "What?" And he said, "Yeah, there's a warrant out for your arrest. Didn't you realize that?" "No, I didn't. What's it for?" And he never would tell me. And he was asking me some more questions and everything. And then finally he says, "Do you ever go by the alias of Ricky?" I said, "No, I haven't." And I was thinking, if I went by an alias, the last thing I would do is tell somebody in law enforcement. And finally he got around to asking me the last four of my numbers of my social security number, and I gave it to him. He looked on his computer, and then finally he said, "Oh, that's somebody else we're looking for." And meanwhile, all these others, they're in the office going through all their process and everything, and I thought I walked in there and told them what was going on. And about that time, they let Bobby go. A few minutes later, they let Max and Sarah go. They kept me in there for over 3 hours. Bobby was in Kentucky by the time they finally let me out of the office there in Detroit at midnight.
Max and Sarah got a hotel room and still beat you home.
Yeah. No, actually, I beat Max and Sarah home. I finally caught up with them there just south of I was actually ahead of them there in Lexington. And I don't know. Every time I come back to Detroit, something stupid always happens to me in Detroit.
Well, now you remember the first year we
No
went
offense,
up.
Steve Argo.
The first year we went up together, Pete and I and Josh were together, and you and Dave were together. And what was it, Pete? We looked around and had everything in his truck out in the parking lot.
Out in the parking lot. He was looking for his grandmother's blanket up. His mom
And he'd left that at my
Left that at the lodge.
Left it at the lodge.
And I guess my advice, if you go through the border in Canada, don't be an old gray-headed fart that looks like you're running dope, or they're going to strip search you every time.
Listen, Finley, there is plus sides about not killing the bears. When you go back, you ain't got nothing to declare.
That's for sure. But I remember that Canadian border guard, that woman, she couldn't find the serial number of my rifle, and you had to show her where the serial number was.
Yeah, I like to went to jail doing that for you. Well, just say you just got to watch yourself.
Well,
I should don't know him.
Oh, and then we came back that year.
They walked. Listen, I knew it's always bad with Finley. He must look like a criminal, because there was 10,000 cars at the border. This little old border patrol guy comes walking up through there. He walked past at least 150 cars. He comes straight to Finley's window and said, "I need to see your passport."
Yeah, hadn't even gotten to the gate.
Dang. Yeah.
Folks, that's just one of the most amazing adventures we have when we go places together.
I've got some jerky up there you need to try tonight, Finley.
Yeah, don't go with Bobby and buy jerky in Canada is all I can tell you. And but you know, it's just a blessing how we are to each other's lives, man. We just have so much fun together, and you know, we just hope we just keep do this many more years to come. And well, Pete, do you have any amazing stories you want to tell about us, or you've been awful silent over there? Pete's like,
Well, where was that? Where were we at?
we're in Canada, Pete.
About the no, that was down at the hall, down at the farm, down at Red Street.
What were we doing?
About the goats. No, what was it?
Whoa, back up, erase that. We don't talk about goats.
Yeah, the Barbarossa where he shot. He thought he
I'll
shot.
never forget that.
Well, you did shoot two,
He
but
did
you shot
shoot two.
three. He was like, I'll never be back.
we had one that died, and it just so happened it had died right where that other one he shot died. And Bobby told him he shot one and it too.
I said, what? I said, no, I didn't. I said, that's never happened again. I ain't coming back. I'm never coming back here again. No. Said 3 and 1 shot.
Man, when you're good, you're good. That's all
Yeah.
I can say.
But most of all, just the camaraderie we have up here, reminiscing, sitting out watching the sunrise and the lake and
What's a pretty
everything
sorry
is
view,
just
ain't it?
yeah, it's just a great place to be, just to let off steam and relax.
It has been a blessing. We've been a blessing to each other, and we hope the Lord gives us many years together. Well, folks, that does it for this episode of Chasing a Dream on Bridge Creek. We hope you've enjoyed this segment, hacking on over there. Oh, Dave, they don't call me. What are we going to call this episode? They call me Ricky Finley. Remember that Ron White said they call me Tater Salad. They call me Ricky Finley. Don't call me Ricky Finley.
That's
But,
sounds as good as anything else.
Folks, until next time, as my old buddy Bobby always says,
Keep your powder dry.
and as Big Daddy always says, keip chasing a dream. All right, everybody.
I'm fixing to change that to make sure you shoot your bow before you go hunting.
that's gonna be podcast number 2. Folks, we love you. Most importantly, God loves you. God bless you. Till next time, keep chasing the dream. Peace out.
Peace out.
Peace out. Bobby, peace out. Good one.
Oh, next one, maybe don't need to fart in the saddle.
Anyway,
I can't.
you smelled it, didn't you?